Hey guys, this is Elias with Softly, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to import JetEngine meta fields using an XML file and WPL import. So guys, the first step is get our files. So we have several options for that actually. So we could download a file directly from an URL or FTP, or we could use an existing file from a previous import. But in this video I'm gonna choose to upload a file directly from my computer. And once that's done, we need to decide whether we want to create new items or we can update existing items. Now, in this video, I don't have any properties here, right? As you can see here. So I'm going to choose new items, but you can also create new items using the existing items import. The main difference here is the way we target the records in our site, because with the existing items import, you can target all of the properties or posts or products or whatever you want to import in your site. And if they are already in your site, you can target those and update maybe the prices or whatever. But with the new items import, you cannot do that. You can just create new records or maybe update some of the records that same imports created, right? So we have more info on this in our YouTube channel and in our docs at wplimport.com. So if you want to know more about that, just go there and check that out. For now, let's select the post type we want to import in this video. And we have here these properties post type. And this has been created using JetEngine from Crocoblock, right? I'm going to show you right now. We have here our post type. And here are all of the JetEngine meta fields. We have a bunch of different JetEngine fields to import today. We have some simple text fields, date fields, select fields. Here is a checkbox field, number, radio. We even have a repeater field. We have a gallery, a media field, and some other simple text fields, which you can see here too. If we add a new post, you can see here we have all of the fields we want to import, including the repeater element, right? So I'm gonna go back here to WPL import since I showed you guys how this is looking, and let's just blast through this so we can get to the meat of this video really quick. Now I'm gonna continue to step 2, and here in step 2 we just need to double check that our import file is looking good, that all of the posts are being recognized by WPL import. Now in this case we do have 103 properties to be imported. And these are all of the elements we're going to use to import our JetEngine meta fields. Now, down below here, we have some managed filtering options, and we can use this to filter out some properties that maybe we don't want to import. So perhaps, let's say I want to select this availability field, and I'm going to say equals, and I'm going to type in here on market, right? Now I'm going to add this rule. And I'm not going to do anything just now, right? Just to show you guys, we have here 103 posts, right? And here we have this XPath field, which is with the default value right here. Now, if I click Apply Filters to XPath, you will see some weird code is generated here. And we no longer have 103 properties. Now we have 74. Now, guys, what we did here is basically filter out all of the properties that are not on the market. So this is pretty cool and pretty useful for some of you guys. So I wanted to show you real quick before we go into how to import JetEngine meta fields in the next step. Now let's do that by continuing to step 3. And here in step 3, we have our title and the description, and the WPL import won't limit you to use a specific element or whatever into specific field. No, just drag and drop it like this. And if you want the property name to be a title, just drag and drop it there. But if you want, I don't know, the map address or maybe this short address to be part of the title too, just be my guest. You can absolutely do it, and no one will stop you. Now, that's not what I want to do in this example, but I do want to drag and drop my description here, so that's good. And now here in the images section, I'm going to drag and drop just the image feature element. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because we're going to use the JetEngine Add-On, which is down here, to import our gallery and our floor plan, which is here, right? So we're going to get there. Now, let's just finish with this images section real quick. because this is important, guys, right? Because here, since we want this image to be the feature image, we need to have this option, which is enabled by default, but it won't hurt you to double check. This one right here that says set the first image to the feature image. Now this will make that this image right here, it's gonna be set to be the feature image, right here in WordPress. So it's always a good idea to preview and test that and run this test. And this will just assure you guys that the image can be reached by WPL import and attached to your post. So if the test was successful, you can sleep easy knowing that WPL import will just download that and attach it to your properties. Now I'm going to dismiss this, continue with our import. These other settings, I'm just going to leave them as they are, but you can hover on the question marks if you have some doubts about what they do, and it will give you a brief description. Now guys, this custom fields area, I'm just going to skip it because all of the custom fields we have for our properties, we have them created with JetEngine. So let's import this JetEngine fields using our XML file. Now to do that, I'm going to enable this properties post type field group, and WPL import will fetch all of the JetEngine fields we have. Here we have our map address, which are the couple of simple text fields, the date field, the select fields. You can even select values from here, right? Even with this amenities one, you could also type in here static data and it will work. The only issue with this is that WPL import will just write this static data into all 74 properties, and maybe we don't want that, right? Because not all properties have a pool, for example, and if we select a pool here, well, all of them will have a pool in our site. Now let's just start dragging and dropping some stuff here. Map address is gonna be here, short address right here. Then we have the date first listed, and I have my date first listed element right here. So I'm gonna drag and drop that. And guys, you can select a value from here, sure, but again, that will mean whatever value you set up here, it's gonna be the same for all 74 properties. But since I drag and drop this date first listed element, which is right here, right, it has this date format, which is pretty simple, right? But maybe it's not the same JetEngine is using for the JetEngine date field, right? So that doesn't matter because WPL import will use the str2time function to translate whatever date format you have into whatever JetEngine is using for your date field. So that's cool. Now here for the availability, I'm gonna set this with XPath. And guys, if you know what XPath is, then awesome. You know you can do all sorts of crazy stuff here. But if you don't, just don't worry about it. If you don't know what XPath is, that just means that you can just drag and drop a value here and import that dynamically. Now for the listing type, I'm gonna do that too. Price, may delete this and drag and drop that. Then amenities, just make sure that if you're importing multiple values for a field like a checkbox field or another kinds of field, and you need to do this with XPath, you just need to make sure that they are separated with commas. Now this is our case here in our amenities field. You can see they are separated with commas. So I'm gonna drag and drop this here, and that should be good. Now then for the square feet, the school, then bathrooms and bedrooms, I'm gonna do the same. And now here for the rooms element, which remember guys, it's a repeater field, right? You can add as many subgroups as you want. I'm gonna use this option that says variable XML. Now this has some special structure. So guys, if you wanna know more about how to import JetEngine repeater fields, you can go to our website at wplimport.com, click on the docs menu, then you can navigate to import JetEngine, and you will find there the repeater documentation, right? Here we explain how this works in great detail, right? We even have a video on how to do that. Now guys, into this video, let's just go here, and alternatively, you can also click here on this link and it will take you to our docs on that. Now, I'm gonna blast through this, showing you guys how to do it. So the main thing you need to do is look for the element with the repeater data in your XML file, which in my case is this rooms element. And you can see this rooms element have a repeating element inside of it, which is this row one, right? So I'm gonna drag and drop the row element, which again is the repeating element, and I'm gonna drop it here, and I'm gonna remove these indicators, and it's gonna be like this. For each row, right? For each row inside rooms, right? Let's do these fields, right? Let's do them as many times as needed. So I'm gonna drag and drop my room's name here, my room's measurement here, and my room's description here. Now we don't need this right here, right? So I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna do the same with this and with this, right? So guys, this is the structure we need to import JetEngine repeater fields. It's pretty easy, but it can get confusing sometimes. So if you have some questions, or maybe you're stuck and don't know how to do it or whatever, just don't worry about it and contact our support team. We will be more than happy to help you out with this, guys. Now I'm gonna ignore blank fields, and you can hover on the question marks. So if you do, it says if the value of the element or column in your file is blank, it will be ignored. Use this option when some records in your file have a different number of repeating elements than others. So guys, this is our case. So I'm gonna just leave that enabled, right? And continue with our import. Now here we have our gallery field. Now that field's data, it's right here. So I'm gonna drag and drop that, and I'm gonna make sure I identify correctly the separator of these images. So we have here an URL and we have here another one, and these URLs are separated with a comma. So I'm gonna set a comma here, and with this WPL import, we'll be able to import your JetEngine gallery fields. Now I'm gonna use this option that says search through the media library for existing images before importing new images. And what this option will do is, well, basically double check each time an image is about to be downloaded to make sure that image doesn't already exist in our site. Now, if that image already exists in our site, then WPL import won't download that image because it's not needed. Instead, it will use that same image, and with it, avoiding creating a duplicate one. So that's pretty much what it does. And you're welcome to not use this option. That's up to you. I do like it, so I'm gonna leave it enabled, and I'm gonna do the same with the floor plan. So drag and drop that, enable the search through the media library for importing new images feature, match those by URL, and move on. Lastly, we have this contact section with the name, phone, email, and link for more details, JetEngine simple text fields. So I'm just gonna drag and drop the values there because there is nothing too special about those fields. So let's just be done with that. And with this, we have set up each and every one of the JetEngine meta fields in our site. So those are gonna get imported. And let's just move on, guys, because we have a couple of fields we still need to import here. So I'm going to enable the tenure and drag and drop that. And this is a taxonomy. So here for the property of the week, we have a slight issue because the property of the week is expressed in ones and zeros. So if I go here, you can see that the property of the week is either yes and no. But this is not a problem. I'm going to drag and drop this here, and I'm going to enable mapping for property of the week. Now this mapping feature will map dynamically each one of the values we specify and translate them to whatever we say they're gonna be, dynamically, right? So the way this works is if in your file there is a 1, that's gonna be translated to yes. Now I'm gonna add a new rule, and I'm gonna say if in my file there is a 0, I want that to be translated to no. So with this, we will fix our little issue here. Now we have other videos on this and in many other of the things we have just covered, right? So like how to import images or whatever. So if you have some questions, be sure to check the other videos in our channel and our docs at wplimport.com. For now, we just need to skip over these other properties options because this is just standard WordPress stuff like post status, post dates, and whatnot. And this is the function editor, which is very easily the most powerful feature in WPL import, guys, because with this function editor, we will be able to run PHP functions across the whole file and make changes on the fly or connect to external services and do some pretty weird stuff. If you know PHP, there is basically no limit to what you can do here, right? Now, if you don't, just don't worry about it. Just keep it closed and do as if this didn't exist. Just don't worry about it. You don't need to use the function editor to run WPL import and import JetEngine meta fields with a CSV, XML, or whatever file you are using, right? Now, guys, I believe we're already here in step 3, so let's just move on to step 4. And here in step 4, we need to choose a unique identifier. If you want to know more, you can read this text. But this unique identifier, it's just a way WPL import has of telling one record apart from the other, so it doesn't mix things up. Now, if you don't want to overthink this too much, just click on the auto attack button and be done with it. Now, these features are mostly for when you need to rerun this import, and you can read them. They are very much self-explanatory. For example, this one, it's going to control whether you want to create new records in the file, which we do. Now, this one's going to control whether you want to update the existing properties with the data in this import file. So if that's something you want to do, keep it enabled. Now, this is going to control whether you want to skip properties if the data in the import file has not changed, right? So if you that's something you want, keep that enabled. And here you can control which data you want to update, right? Because maybe you have run this import once and maybe you want to run it again. But this time, I don't know, say you only want to update the prices, right? So you select here the price from the JetEngine Add-On Fields data point, right? You select the price, and that's all WPL import is going to update. All of the other things that are not selected, it's going to be just skipped, right? So it's really not what we're going to do here. So I'm going to choose update all data and move on. Now, guys, we have here finally the option to remove or modify properties that are no longer present in this import file. Now, this is very powerful because maybe you have this file coming from a provider or something like that. Maybe it's coming via URL as a feed or something. So with these kinds of fields, your provider maybe removes some properties that maybe they are not in the market anymore, right? So you don't have to use the expat filter we used in step 1, right? So if that happens, well, you can use this option to clean up your site and don't have here properties that are not on the market, because if they are not in your file anymore, that's because they were sold or whatever. So you want to maybe enable this and decide maybe you want to send them to the trash, maybe you want to change the status to private or draft, or maybe you want to set the availability field to sold or something, right? Or you can just go more nuclear on them and just straight up delete them and all of their images, right? You can do that too. Now, guys, we have other videos for this. You can click here on this button and it will take you to it. And finally, we have here the scheduling options, which you can combine with this, because even although WPL import makes it super easy to run your imports, especially rerun them, because you can go here to manage imports and just rerun your import manually. Maybe you don't want to have to log in to your WordPress site and go to manage imports, click on the run button, wait until they're finished and whatnot. Maybe you don't want that, right? Well, you can use our automatic scheduling service, or maybe you want to use cron jobs, right, to run this import automatically. And again, if you combine that with this, you will keep your site always updated with the latest properties and the ones that are on the market, or whatever settings you need to do, right? Now, guys, I believe we're ready here. So here in the last step, we have an import summary. And this is pretty much, what file you're going to use, which filters you have in place, the unique identifier and whatnot. And all of this is looking good. So I'm just going to confirm and run this, right? And this is going to take a minute or two while WPL import unloads all of the images. So I'm going to pause the video here, and I'm going to come back when it's ready. Alright, guys, so it seems WPL import is finished importing our JetEngine fields and our properties. So let's see if that's true by going here to properties. Alright, so we have 74 properties, and that's great because this is the number of properties we expected. Yeah, let's maybe open this one up and see what's going on here. And we have a feature image, the two taxonomies, which are here. And as you can see, we don't have ones and zeros. We have yes and no, which is great. Now we have our title, description, and here we have our listing info fields. And these are simple text, date, select the JetEngine checkbox field, then the radius, and then a bunch of repeating elements. So it's cool. Then here in the media tab, we have our gallery and our floor plan. And in the contact tab, we have the other fields. So that's great. Now then here in the front end, we have our gallery, which is pretty cool. You can see all of the images are here. Then next we have our title, the price, the availability, the listing type, short address, beds, bats, and square feet, the long address, description, amenities, the repeater field with the rooms, and the agent information, and that's it. That's it, guys. That's how you import JetEngine meta fields using an XML file and WPL import. Now, guys, if you want to know more about how to import or export other JetEngine meta fields, or maybe you're wondering how to do the same with Metabox or ACF, you can go ahead and check out the other videos in our channel or go to our website at wplimport.com. For now, guys, thank you for watching and see you next time.